What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video, we are headed to GameStop's website yet again, and we are looking for more retro games, and that is for the Sega Genesis. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so I've been doing this series for a while now. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the other ones. But I'm trying to find games that I can start a game collection with $25 or less from Gamestop's online or their website. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, pull up the computer and pull up the website and talk about it. Now I'll start with 0 to 10 and then I'll go 10 to 25 and we'll order by best matches, just to see what GameStop is showing you and I what we could pick up. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop over to the camera and the video from the computer and all that. So let's check that out. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually go to GameStop's website. We will go to video games, go to retro gaming, and then click games under the Sega Genesis. Now you can see there's a ton of stuff on here already, but we're gonna go ahead and click show filters. When that finally loads up, we will go down to price and we will go 0 to 10, and then we'll select that and it'll load up all that, and we will get rid of the filters on the side and go down it. Now it looks like there's only 35 results, so we will go ahead and talk about all of those and get through that. Now first off, you see is Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball for $6. It's a pinball game based on Sonic, obviously, so if you're into that, you can pick that up. $6 isn't bad. That's probably well worth it. Next, we've got Aladdin for $8. This is one of my favorite all-time games from the Sega Genesis, so for $7.99, definitely pick that one up. Next to that is another legend of the system, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog #1 for $8. And then you got Miss Pac-Man for $2, rounding up the top 4 spots. Now, if you notice, there are deals and all that. I'm not going to talk about all the deals that GameStop has running, because maybe you'll see this video and they'll stop doing it and all that stuff. So if you see that, that's awesome, but I'm just going to go based on what the prices are. Next, we've got Disney's Lion King for $8. Yet again, another great game for the Sega Genesis. Actually, the Lion King and Aladdin were released on the Switch, and I've talked about that, so I'll leave that there. Batman Forever for $9.99. Now it says Batman, but then the picture is Batman Forever, so I'm not quite sure what you would get there. That could be a little confusing, but Batman Forever and Batman are fun on the system, so it'd probably be worth the $10 risk to see what game you get. Now next, we've got Jurassic Park. Yet again, a fun one. That one's really cheap at $3.49. That's definitely well worth picking up for that little amount. And then you've got Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. Now for me, I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan, so I would probably pass on that, but $10 for that is not a bad deal. And next, we've got NBA Jam for $4. That is definitely well worth it if you like games like NBA Jam that are kind of over the top, kind of arcade sports games. Definitely pick that one up. You've got Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2. Again, $10. That's not a bad deal there. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for $8. That's actually probably pretty worth it. It's a fun game, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't. And then Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for $4. That's definitely well worth picking up as well. Let's go ahead and load some more and see what else we can get. Now you've got Tiny Toon Adventures Buster's Hidden Treasure for $10. That's a decent deal. $10 is probably the most I would want to pay for that game. You've got Eternal Champions for $4. A good game for $4. Same with Bugs Bunny and Double Trouble for $4. You're not going to go wrong there. And then next you've got Tasmania for $8. Again, fun game. Here we got a ton of good Genesis games that are well worth it. Now Vector Man is a weird and wacky game, but is still totally fun. So for $7.99, definitely well worth it. Greatest Heavyweights, I've never played before, but for $5 if you're into boxing games, it's probably worth it. Alien 3 for $10. I actually don't think I have this in the collection, so I might actually think about picking this up if I was to do this. And then Kid Chameleon for $6. I don't have that one either, so I'd probably pick that up. It's $6. That's pretty cheap. Then we got another Warner Bros. Looney Tunes Animaniacs game. $4.99, $5 totally worth it there. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine for $8. That is definitely probably one of the better games here on the under $10 list. There's a bunch, but that one's probably well worth picking up. And then Garfield Caught in the Act for $9.99. So let's go ahead and go back up, and we will go ahead and change the filter from 0 to 10 to actually 10 to 25. And then we'll hide the filters again, and we will see what we get. Now, first off, right away, you see some good heavy hitters. You've got Mortal Kombat 2. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I actually enjoy Mortal Kombat more than Street Fighter, so I would pick this up. $12 is not bad. It's totally worth playing and a bunch of fun. So next you've got $24.99 for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That might be a little bit much. I'd be more comfortable buying it for $20, but $24.99 isn't a bad deal there. Next we've got X-Men 2 Clone Wars for $15. That's a pretty good deal. That's a fun game, and I think that would be worth it. I'm interested that the Sonic and Knuckles is actually $20. That kind of surprises me. But, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog was only like, what, like $8, $7, something like that? And now it's $20. That surprises me a little bit. Next, we've got Spider-Man for $15. I don't believe I have this in the collection, so I would pick that up. If you like Road Rash 3 is fun. For $20, it's totally a good deal there. Mortal Kombat for $12. Like I said, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, so I would be picking that up if I didn't have it in my collection already. And Comic Zone for $20 as well. That's a good deal there. Let's keep scrolling. Let's see what else. We've got Earthworm Jim 2 for $25. Earthworm Jim is a totally fun game and totally well worth it. So $25 for that. That's probably a good price. Now, I probably would be more happy if it was $20, but I'm not complaining too much. Quack Shot starring Donald Duck for $14.99. Pretty worth it there. That's a fun game if you've never played it. $15 is not a bad deal there. Streets of Rage for $25. That's probably a little bit much. I think $20 would be a better price, but that's still well worth picking up if you've never played the game before. And then there's another Road Rash game for $12. Road Rash 2 right there. Now let's load some more and see what else we can find. Now, first off, we've got Gauntlet 4. I'm a huge Gauntlet fan. It's always fun to play and always worth it. So $20 is well worth it for that. Speaking of well worth it, Mutant League Football for $24.99 is a good deal. I remember when I picked that up, I found it and I picked up Mutant League Football and hockey at the same time. They were complete and I'm so thankful for that. Then next is Outrun, $20. That's totally a fun game. If you've never played it or you don't own it in your collection, go pick that up. $20 is a good deal. Then we've got World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. $12 is pretty cheap when you think about games, so I would probably pick this up if I was growing my collection. Altered Beast for $12, totally well worth picking it up. Pick that up for sure. Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge is definitely a game to play that's fun as well. $11, well worth that. Dynamite Headdy for $12. I don't believe I have this for the Sega Genesis. I have it on the Game Gear for some reason, but for $12 definitely is well worth picking up. Next is a game that I absolutely love on the Genesis that they ported to the Switch as well. So many games are getting ported to the Switch. Toe Jam and Earl and Panic on Funkatron. Such an awesome game. $18 is well worth it, I think. Now, some people may say it's not, but I definitely think it is well worth it. Ren and Stimpy for $12 is a pretty decent deal. That's cheap enough that you can have it and have fun. Next, we've got Shining in the Darkness. I've never played this game, so 20 bucks is probably would be going into my collection. I think the same with Ranger X. 25 bucks, I don't have that in the collection, so that is well worth it as well. We've got Shinobi 3 here for 25 bucks as well. Shinobi games are fun, so I would pick this up. I already have this in the collection, but I would pick this up if I was looking. It's a fun game for sure. Now, everybody knows that Clay Fighters, the Sculptor's Cut on the Nintendo 64 is worth a ton of money. Why not pick up Clay Fighter on the Sega Genesis for 12 bucks instead? They're quite different. They're named the same. Just bear with me. I'd pick that up if you haven't played it. It's fun as well. Wolverine Adamantium. I got it that time. Rage for $15, probably well worth it. 15 bucks is cheap enough that I think that's worth risking it for. You got The Simpsons Bart Nightmare for 25. I'm a huge fan of the Simpson games, like back in that era, so definitely you gotta go out and pick that up. Then Real Monsters for $12 is another good deal. I'm telling you, these are some good prices, and I think we're gonna stop there. I think that's a good amount of games. So if you've got $25 or less and you're wanting to start a collection and you're going for the Sega Genesis, maybe GameStop isn't a bad idea. Maybe you've got 100 bucks. You could probably pick out like 5 to 8 games, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the prices. But I definitely think you would get good games if you did this. Now, everybody loves to hate on GameStop, but if you get a fake game, which has happened before from ordering online, you can always return it, ship it back. You can call them and say, hey, I got a fake game, can I get a new one? They'll want you to return it and all that, but they will actually send you a new one. A used one, obviously, but you know what I mean. So if you're out there looking and you're wanting to start a collection, GameStop might not be a bad idea right now. At least they're online. Let's say they're online, because with coronavirus and being all over and you want to be staying home and stay safe, this could be a good way to grow your collection without spending too much money. All of these games are good games and they're under 25 bucks. So if you like this video, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what game would you be picking up if you were doing this with 25 bucks. I want to say thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. I'm having so much fun making these videos and I'll keep doing it. So I'm thankful for you watching. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And one more time, thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the world to me. I want to tell you guys, be safe, practice social distance, stay at home as much as you can. Wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from each other, wear masks when you go out, all that stuff so you and your family are able to stay safe. So one last thing before you go, make sure you have a good day.